Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to you. Welcome to this very special occasion as we introduce you to the competitors in the America's Cup. This is our World Cup soccer match on the water. It is the most exciting thing to come to the Bay Area in many, many, many years. I'm honored to be your Master of Ceremonies today. Got to give a little plug for my little show, Eye on the Bay, CBS 5. Thank you, but it's a great day for San Francisco. It's a great day for the America's Cup. In fact, it's a really great day for San Francisco and the America's Cup. I would like to introduce to you our speakers. This morning we have Richard Worth, the chairman of the America's Cup Event Authority. We have Ian Murray, the CEO and Regatta Director of the America's Cup Race Management. And we have our Mayor, Edwin M. Lee. Please, a round of applause for our special guest today. So we also have with us representatives from the various teams, the competitors for the 34th America's Cup. Now today we are going to introduce you to each one of the teams. We'll take a sneak peek into the preparations. Over the next few months, competitors will be preparing for the first America's Cup World Series in Cascais in Portugal. And this week enabled us to get our first glimpses into the future. I'm sure you all saw the video yesterday, did you not? The great video from the Bay, got some good coverage. But really, the America's Cup boats are going to light up our waterfront with raw power and speed and show us things that we've never seen in these waters in our bay before. So if you didn't get to see some of the action yesterday on the water, here's a little taste of what the Bay Area has to come. Some video, if you look at the screens, of what happened on the water yesterday. Wow, not a scene from a Bond movie, but the real deal there. Just a couple of the boats on the water yesterday in the bay. If you can imagine what it's going to be like with 10 of these boats igniting our bay like never before, it's going to be pretty wild. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we'd like to introduce you to the chairman of America's Cup Event Authority, Richard. Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you, Liam. In just 8 short weeks, we'll all be in Portugal, launching the very first event in the inaugural America's Cup World Series. And I must say, I think for all of us involved, it's very exciting to be moving from the planning and preparation stage to the delivery and the competition stage. Soon the talking can stop and the action can begin. And we already know from what we've just seen what kind of action that can be. So to you all, welcome everybody. We'd like to thank you for joining us as we welcome the teams officially to San Francisco, the gorgeous host city of the 34th America's Cup. And it's great to be standing here today with an outstanding field of competitors from 8 countries around the globe, here at the site of what will be the most accessible, the most extreme America's Cup there has ever been. And in every sense of the word, the America's Cup is reinventing itself, from our fast and dangerous new boats to our breakthrough sporting technology on television. And maybe just one little anecdote here. If you could imagine watching an American football match without any lines on the pitch, you would be confused because you wouldn't know what was going on. And the kind of change that we're going to make to sailing is the equivalent of putting lines on the pitch, on the field of sailing. And it will have a very, very dramatic understanding change for people in general. So watch for the television pictures that will come your way. The pictures don't lie, and this is a sporting competition that will have a massive appeal to audiences around the globe, and we saw that firsthand with the global reaction to Monday's sailing and the unfortunate, but gladly nobody was injured in that capsize. And today I would like to share a few new things that will enhance this transformation of the America's Cup. And firstly, we're introducing the new expression of our brand today, the new America's Cup brand, which is on the screen right now. And our new visual identity really represents, if you like, America's Cup 2.0. It's sleek, it's modern, it's sophisticated, and it's everything that our competition now stands for. And visually, this evolution sees the logo take prominence representing elements of the next generation of the racing boats in the shape of the A's, as well as the host city of San Francisco. You can see the maybe subtle, maybe not so subtle reference to the towers of the Golden Gate Bridge represented in the A's. And finally, the cup itself has been streamlined to simplify the form while also retaining the beauty of the oldest trophy in sport anywhere in the world. And coinciding with our brand launch today, we're also revealing the new Louis Vuitton cup mark as well, which is this one. And for the creation of this logo, Louis Vuitton began with the shape of the hulls and the sails of the new boats, which will compete for the next America's Cup and the Louis Vuitton Cup, the America's Cup Challenger Series, which will be here in San Francisco. So by playing on the designs with a portrait landscape rotation, they've transformed this sailing boat into a very graphic and modern flag, which has become the Louis Vuitton Cup logo. For the colors, the deep blue refers to the yachting universe and the America's Cup, and the terracotta, the brick red, signifies the interior color of the Louis Vuitton leather goods, which all the ladies amongst us, I'm sure, will already know. And I'd like to recognize former America's Cup skipper Bruno Trublet, who is here today representing our longtime partner, Louis Vuitton. Bruno, thanks very much for joining us. We know you've spent a long time on aeroplanes to be here for a very short time to support the event today, and it's really very much appreciated. Thank you. And I'd like to also share a little bit about the America's Cup World Series, the new professional circuit that will bring the America's Cup experiences and all these teams to port cities around the globe. And the America's Cup World Series will be a tremendous lead-up and promotional vehicle to the Louis Vuitton Cup and the America's Cup final here in San Francisco. The World Series will kick off in Cascais, as I say, in Portugal, in just 8 weeks. Then it moves to Plymouth in the UK in September. And I can also announce today that we have the dates confirmed now for the San Diego Regatta, the third stop in the America's Cup World Series. That will be taking place on the 12th to the 20th of November in San Diego, so you'll be happy to hear it's all over before Thanksgiving. We're looking forward to a very exciting season of sailing the AC-45s, and then bringing the boats here next summer for 2 more America's Cup World Series events. And I can also tell you that there is a bidding process underway. We know 5 of the 16 places that will be stopping in the next 2 years. There is now a bidding process underway for all of the remaining 11 venues that we need to find in the years of 2012 and 2013. The first results of that tender process are expected to be announced very soon for those remaining 11 cities. And finally, I'd just like to pay a real tribute to the incredible amount of work that is being done to make the America's Cup events over the next 2 years an enormous success. Not only the work of our own organizations, the Event Authority and Ian Murray's America's Cup race management teams, But the America's Cup Organising Committee, the City, the Mayor's Office, the Port Authority, of course the competing teams, and the Golden Gate Yacht Club, plus all our commercial partners, the venues in Cascais, the venue in Plymouth, the venue in San Diego. It's an incredibly interconnected, interdependent community, and we all know we're about to embark on something which is a very special journey over the next 27 months. And those of you who share our passion and our energy for the excitement to come will be very happy to share that journey with you. Thank you very much.
Richard, thank you very much. We're very excited and very much looking forward to the competition coming here next summer. And without further ado, I'd now like to introduce you to the CEO and Regatta Director for the 34th America's Cup, Ian Murray.
Good morning. Well, yesterday, in the past, I've sailed an enormous amount on San Francisco Bay and ventured up and down these shores and in and out of these waters. But yesterday I had my first opportunity to view San Francisco from the air in a very nice helicopter to watch the AC-45s sailing and be on top of, you know, some of the things that we're doing out on the water. And I've got to say that as beautiful as San Francisco is from the shore and the Embarcadero and out on the water and Marina Green and Crissy Fields and everywhere, when you go up in a helicopter, there is not a bad picture of San Francisco. It's a truly amazing thing to be up there and be above the bridge and over the hills and see these boats sailing and to see that we have the America's Cup, the great event of sailing happening in this great harbour is wonderful. But before I start talking about planning for our America's Cup World Series, I'd like to thank a few of our partners, which Richard's helped me out, and certainly recognise our city family, our partners at City Hall, the Mayor's Office, the Port, the America's Cup Organising Committee, and finally, I'd like to say that, you know, through all of our partners, we are making great progress. The planning environmental process here in San Francisco is like something I've never been involved in before, and I know that mountains have been moved to make this process as streamlined as it possibly can, and to satisfy the very stringent controls that are set forward and put forward as I think a very important part of California leading the way. But the people there are a number of people here today that are all involved in this process. Everyone is pulling on the same side of the rope in this tug of war, and the process is a long and enduring and incredibly thorough process that needs to be done and is going along very smoothly. So with us today we have Jennifer Matz, Ed Reskin, Monique Meyer and their teams, and from the Port Commissioners we have Anne Lazarus, FX Crowley, Doreen Ho and Leslie Katz. I'd also like to recognise the America's Cup Organising Committee, many of whom are here today, and I see Kiri McLennan down there. And Kiri has kindly, I know she's been working all night, she's made the little show bags and kit bags for you all to take home that are over there, and she personally assured me that she cooked the little cupcakes herself at 6 a.m. this morning. And finally, I'd like to recognise and thank Mayor Lee. It's terrific when the Mayor of a city welcomes you with his open arms. His office is always open for us to go and see up there in magnificent City Hall. And thank you very much, and your participation. I'm very happy to see that white America's Cup hat is firmly in your grasp there and won't leave. So our planning for the America's Cup World Series, well, this journey started, I guess, when I came to San Francisco last September. America's Cup and the selection of the cities process, but concurrently while all that was going on, we knew that we had to get ready for an America's Cup World Series. And last September only, the design of the AC-45 was only being finalised. The factory to build these boats in New Zealand was only being assembled. And here we are today, we have 10 boats in various forms of shipping around the world on their way to Portugal to commence the America's Cup World Series starting August the 6th. I think, on behalf of the team that have put all these AC-45s and have been down in New Zealand doing our trial events and Oracle Racing here, trialling and showing us these fantastic boats on San Francisco, there has been a tremendous effort to design, build, manufacture, trial, transport, and get all of this in under 12 months to Portugal. It'll be 11 months. It's 9 months to this day. Truly remarkable. And I guess what's even more remarkable about it is that when you try to do something new, you often make mistakes. But these boats and these teams and what we've seen from the speeding sailing to the spectacular capsizes, these boats are proving to be the business for what they're designed to be. They're robust, they're fast, they're manoeuvrable, and certainly I think for many traditional America's Cup people there was doubts as to whether these boats would fulfil the role that lay ahead of them. I don't think there's too many of those doubts left. They are providing exactly what we needed. So off we go to Portugal. As I said, there's 10 racing yachts. There's another 40 or 50 boats en route to Portugal. There's 136 containers. There's tents, there's people, there's juries, there's 100 television people. This America's Cup World Series is a big event. And for us to assemble all of this in Lisbon, move it down to Cascais at the beginning of August, and to start our World Series is a major planning and logistical. We will pick up at the conclusion of Portugal on our own ship all of that equipment and transport it and reset it up in Plymouth some 30 days later. So the America's Cup World Series we have here today, we have our teams that are going to participate. As I said, all the boats are on the way. The boats are in the process of being assembled, branded, practiced in, and the teams are being assembled in more than just the 5 sailing people on each boat. Each team will carry, in the America's Cup World Series, somewhere between 20 to 25 people as part of their team to participate. And of course, this is all about the America's Cup coming here in 2013. The America's Cup World Series provides not only the background for the America's Cup for the teams to practice, learn how to sail catamarans, race with wing sails, work with their sponsors, build the event, but it also showcases our event to the world. It allows us to educate ourselves in the rules that we race in. It allows us to educate the people out there that are fascinated by these boats and what they can do and what they can't do, and allows us to bring it to the people over a long period of time prior to coming to San Francisco. We hope to bring an enormous event here to San Francisco, and the early signs with the AC-45s that are really just the training wheels for the AC-72s that will be participating here in the America's Cup. Imagine all of that vision of those 45-foot boats onto a rig that's double the size, a boat that's substantially longer, a boat that's nearly 3 times the beam, and a boat that's going to be going substantially faster. It's what you've seen already on steroids. Not that we are drug tested at every event. Maybe the boats will need to be. But with that, anyway, so we have our 10 boats, we have our 8 nations on the start line in Portugal, and we're really looking forward to it. So we know it's going to go well. There's a lot of people in Portugal working hard on it right now. There's a lot of people here in San Francisco, London, and all around the world. And certainly from all of us and all of you people that are supporting us through this venture, thank you very much. So it is, I think, now time to meet the stars of the show and the teams. Thank you very much.
Ian, thank you. Looking forward to seeing what you have planned for this international fair. We promised you would have an opportunity to meet the teams, the competitors for the 34th America's Cup. So starting over here on the right, my right, Team China, the China team. Next we have from France, Aleph. From New Zealand, the Emirates team, New Zealand. From Italy, Venezia Challenge. Over here, on the left-hand side, my left, we have from France, the Energy team. We have Team Korea from the Republic of Korea. We have the Artemis Racing from Sweden, and from the United States, Oracle Racing. Let's hear it for our teams. So we begin, and we meet our representative from Team China. I want to ask you, first of all, Mr. Wang, it's your second run for the America's Cup. So what are the important aspects of the challenge for your team this time around?
China team is a true China challenger with Chinese sellers and built to be designed and built in China.
Okay, wonderful. Team France, next door here, Team Aleph. Philippe Ligo, a long history with the America's Cup that goes way back to Baron Bick's involvement way back when. So what is it about the America's Cup that keeps the French coming back and winning and succeeding? But what keeps you coming back each and every year?
I think America's Cup is very important in France, and the idea to come back every 4 years for racing against the best teams worldwide is part of his story of sailing in France. So for us, it was very important to be here.
Wonderful. Welcome. Next door to you, representing Team New Zealand, Kevin Shoebridge of the Emirates Team New Zealand. Welcome to San Francisco. So you are also one of the more experienced teams. So how do you see the field shaping up in the 34th America's Cup?
I think we've got a fantastic group. The quality of the teams will reflect the quality of the event in the end, and we've got a nice mixture of old and new teams here, and it's a good number of competitors, and I think it'll be fantastic.
Wonderful. Next door, representing Italy, Dario Valencia. Welcome, Dario. So Italy has been involved since the Louis Vuitton Cup back in 1983. So what keeps you coming back and being involved, and why are you excited about this next America's Cup?
I think the America's Cup has appeal in Italy because of the tradition and the glamour it represents, and there has been a history of successful Italian teams which have popularized the competition. I think this time we're adding several extra dimensions, with the format being more exciting and the accessibility of the racing to people who might not necessarily have followed it before. So our aim is to maximize this within Italy, to promote the new format using social media, new marketing, and everything that's possible to showcase Italy and Italian-made around the world.
And you have another secret weapon this year. You have a 25-year-old skipper who I've heard is pretty hot.
Yes, we've signed...
I mean hot as in hot what he does on the boat.
Yes, yes.
Sorry, I just want to clarify that. Sorry.
I won't express an opinion on the second one.
Ladies, calm down.
Yeah, absolutely. We've signed him.
All right. We look forward to your participation and good luck. Over here on the left, we have Bruno Perron of the French Energy team. Welcome. And what's getting you geared up this year for the next America's Cup?
Thank you. Last time I had the chance to be in this fantastic place in San Francisco was about 12 years ago when we crossed the Golden Gate, breaking the North Pacific record, and it was a completely different game. This time it's the first time for us to attempt an America's Cup for a very simple reason. As you probably noticed, we have been sailing and racing on multi-hulls for the past 30 years, and it was for us an opportunity to try to put this experience on this endeavor. Not saying that the other one will not reach the higher level, and I am pretty much aware that with this very strong team we have here, we're going to have a very tough job to do. But we are pleased to be here and very proud.
Thank you, Bruno, and good luck. Here for the very first time, and part of the America's Cup for the very first time, the Republic of Korea, and representing Team Korea, Kim Dong-young. Kim, welcome. And what's getting you fired up about the 34th America's Cup?
Thank you. We are so proud and great honor representing Republic of Korea, first ever challenge for the America's Cup. So thank you. 감사합니다.
Thank you and good luck in your first participation. Next we have Sweden's Artemis Racing. Terry, you've had some testing times over the years, but the AC-45s, what's your overall impression of how they're going to function and show up in this next Cup?
Well, having spent a majority of my life going through at 9 knots, the AC-45 is quite a different beast. The boats are very physical. They're demanding on the sailors and the shore crews, and pretty much everybody involved gets a full whipping from the start of the day to the end of the day. And I take my hat off to Russell and the Defender for giving us this opportunity, because I think we're going to see something quite new and quite spectacular through just the awesome power that these boats create. And I guess the good news, depending on how you look at it, is that this is the small version. When we get into the 72s, that is only going to get magnified by 100%.
Team Artemis Racing, good luck.
Thank you.
Next door to you, a team that had quite an adventure on the water yesterday, Russell Coots of Oracle Racing. Glad you survived that incident. That was you on board, right?
That's right.
Yeah. No cuts, no bruises, no one injured?
No one injured. You know, a few bruises.
Yeah.
Nothing.
What was going on there?
Bruised. Yeah.
What was happening there? What happened in that moment?
Well, we capsized.
Thank you. New to the sport, I'm learning, but thank you for that very technical answer there. So I will ask you a technical question now that you put me on the spot. What is the difference, and these are terms that you use in your sport, between on the edge and over the edge?
Well, I think I've become a little more qualified to speak on this subject in the last few days. Really, I think that's one of the challenges, as Terry said, one of the challenges that I'm going to face over the next years is recognising where that point is. And I think it's a matter of experience. The experience that I had in the last few days sailing in San Francisco, strong wind conditions, I'm starting to recognise when that limit is reached, and it's probably going to take a few more bad decisions to really cement that in my brain, but I'm trying.
Russell and Oracle Racing, good luck. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an international affair, and it's coming right here to the Bay Area. These are just some of the competitors. Please, ladies and gentlemen, give them a round of applause for their presence here. And so, with that, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you to our Mayor, Edwin M. Lee. Hey, Mayor.
Thank you, Liam. And Liam, thanks again for being in my living room every weekend, exposing all the greatness of the Bay Area. I really appreciate that. I've been working hard on another job for 5 months, and Charlotte Schultz, who's our Chief Protocol Officer, has been begging me to get out of the budget, the pension, the potholes, and into something really fun, international, and that's why I'm here today. And I want to thank our port director and our port commissioners for joining us today as well. And really, I could sit here and tell you about resource efficiency, environmental adaptability, strategic, all the things that we started out, but actually what I really want to talk about is how exciting this race is going to be. I want to welcome the teams here on behalf of San Francisco. We really appreciate your competition, your entry into this race. To Mr. Worth and Mr. Murray, thank you for your leadership on this. We are excited to no end. And I can tell you, after Monday's little ride on that very slower sailboat called the America, but being passed by the AC-45s, it was an experience. And I've been trying to figure out how to explain this sport to so many people who are novelists. And so I've come up at least with a beginning attribute, and I can say, as I was thinking about the AC-45s, and as that team was crossing us, and as it was going on from one hole to the other, and as I saw the teams on that ship, on that boat, hurrying with everything they had to do to keep the sails in place, to keep the balance. I can only think of the analogy to other sports. These teams, at least on the AC-45s, and I suspect they will be as dramatic on the AC-72s, you've got to have the agility of a professional basketball player to be able to be on that boat and function. You've got to have the preciseness of a 49er Super Bowl team in order to do well. But then you've also got to have the execution of a World Series Giants team to be able to do that sailing and win this competition. With all of that, I know all of these skills will be necessary for each of these teams to be able to compete and compete well. And to be on a fast-moving boat with the waves going in all different directions, with the winds going in all different directions, and to beat the other boats, you're going to have to use all of the agility, all of the precision, and all of the execution that you know how to do. And it is really a lot of these sports agilities all combined to make the boat successful. And I want to thank the authority and the event organizing committee for bringing this to San Francisco. And we know we are ready. The funding is going to be there. I know Kerry is working really hard. We've already raised $2 million, and that's even before the nonprofit status has been granted. So while we get there in the month of August, we'll raise the other monies. We have promised to raise over $32 million by the time 2013 comes. But as we approach this, as the international regattas start, I want to, again, congratulate the teams for being here and to perhaps signal to you a friendly but competitive phrase that we use here in the Bay Area. When you start this competition, let's get it on. All right. Thank you.
Wait, didn't Marvin Gaye also have that phrase, Mayor? Maybe it was something different. Mayor Lee, we are as excited as you are about this very, very exciting international global event. And what makes it even more exciting, this, ladies and gentlemen, is in fact the only new global sporting event that will come to America in the next 10 years, in the next decade, and it's coming right here, to San Francisco and to San Francisco Bay. This really is, in many ways, it is our World Cup on the water, it's our Olympics on the water, and it is happening here. Again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. Thank you to our teams and our representatives from all over the world. And as the mayor says, let's get it on. Let's hear it for the America's World Cup, the 34th. And we're going to ask our teams to stick around. They're going to do a group photo on stage, and then there will be an opportunity for some one-on-one interviews afterwards. So, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. Cheers.